For the longest time when I was growing up, I always felt like I needed to walk to feel normalized, to be a part of everyone else and not feel out of place. But at the end of the day now, I feel like I don't think that's really true. I don't even like imagining that anymore. I was born in 1985 and I had pneumonia, so they took me to the doctor. That's when they told us that I had what's called neuroblastoma, which was a form of cancer. It was a late-stage cancer. There's like pictures of me laying on a table with all the different treatment they had to give me at home every night. But they told me how happy I still was as a baby and I would still smile. I went through 3 surgeries, chemotherapy, radiation. But fortunately, the doctors, all different backgrounds, they worked together to save my life. And amazingly, I got through it and I'm here now. It felt very lonely when I was growing up. It was hard for me to meet people and make friends. Also, I was shy, so I don't know if that didn't help either. When I went to school, I think I felt different because I was probably one of the only few people in a wheelchair or had a disability. I remember having to be in special separate classes, adaptive classes. When I was in 2nd grade, it was kind of a turning point where I finally told my parents, why can't I be with the rest of the group in a regular PE program? Felt like that was the start of me speaking up and trying to find a way to be more included with other people. There are definitely struggles. Everyone has different type of injuries. Some people can feel their legs and have certain pain. Other people like me have no feeling. How do you drive? How do you transfer in and out of your chair? When I was little, like, those are things I didn't know how to do and I didn't know it was possible. The struggle growing up was just wearing that back brace, or people had to help me take it on and off to be able to change or use the bathroom, things like that. I did have surgery finally to put rods in my back. The goal is so I won't have to wear the back brace and help become more independent. And unfortunately, I had struggles with that where the rod broke 3 times. After the last surgery in 2009, I was scared that I wouldn't be able to play tennis anymore. From early age, my dad and my stepmom, they all wanted me to have a great life. They put me in activities such as Kung Fu. I got like a mini racing chair so I could do wheelchair racing. And then of course tennis, which I fell in love with. By doing this, they wanted me to be around other people with disabilities to learn from them. And I'm very thankful they did that. They just put me out there to get involved just like any other kid would. And that was one of the cool things with being able to be in like tennis or other activities where I was able to be around people that looked like me and had those shared experiences. I felt like that I first started feeling more independence is when I was able to start doing things by myself on my own kind of around high school. But it really wasn't until I went to UCLA where I felt like that independence. It gave me more and more confidence, not only just being able to live on my own, but getting that college experience. And I felt very lucky to be able to do that. The first memory I have of playing tennis is when I was maybe like 7 years old. When I started with playing tennis, I was not good. I was still learning to play. And at the start, I was having trouble just even winning a few points. But finally, I would win a few points, then I started winning at games, and then a set, and then finally I won my first match eventually. After a few years in 1998, I finally won a tournament. I'm now considered a top 10 wheelchair tennis player in the US, which is obviously a huge accomplishment and definitely something I'm proud of. For the longest time, I've always wanted to walk. For years, I felt like that could make my life better. But when I started becoming more independent, I realized that I don't need to walk. I can do so many cool things. Regardless of the wheelchair, it doesn't define me as a person. I feel like it's okay to be unique and different. I think that's what makes me who I am, and I'm proud of that. And I feel like it's important for other people to realize that. Just be confident within yourself. Be your own person. And that's one of the reasons why I want to continue the sport of wheelchair tennis, to play, compete, but also to help others with coaching in the future, doing clinics, helping young kids just learn about tennis, even if it's just for one day. Being able to accomplish a lot of amazing things, being able to do a White House internship, getting the 10 Outstanding Young Americans Award, co-founding a nonprofit organization with my dad, being a business owner, and now becoming a professional tennis athlete. My goal is to continue to share my experiences about my personal journey and my life, to be able to help others with disabilities, without disabilities, to show that anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it.